Well, hello. I guess I'm supposed to bend over and kiss my ass goodbye because Derek's here on time for once. I mean, we've got wrestling and stuff to talk about too. It should be a great time.
Welcome to the One Fall WrestleCast.
Hi guys, what's up?
What are you listening to that's so loud? I know it's
Oh, sorry, man. It's an Estee Lauder commercial. It's the future of skin.
Yeah. I'll show you. Okay. Show you the future of skin.
It's the future of yeah. I'm not gonna go further with that. That'd be bad. It's a PG family friendly show.
We're still in the beginning of this podcast. Don't get us demonetized yet.
Yeah, we can't do that.
No pop for that from Walt. All right, fine. I see how it's gonna be tonight.
You want me to do the dance? I'll do the dance. Will that
I
pop?
see how it's gonna be.
I'll go get the tinfoil crown.
Don't do the dance. Unless that's where we want to start. But that doesn't make sense.
No. That has to be later.
Yeah, doesn't make any sense.
Later.
Right, Walter? Oh, fearless leader.
Hi, Tom. How are you doing?
I'm really good, actually. If you can't tell, Derek's here. I'm pretty shocked by that. So I like that. I like that he's in his Jim Cornette shirt, which is awesome. I just noticed that, and now I'm laughing harder. I like that you're here. I like that Penguins hockey hat. I wish
you
I
talked
had
to him
one.
for like a full 30 minutes.
Huh? What? I'm talking
It's
to him
old
for
school,
like,
pal.
yeah. I like it. I wish I had one, but I don't. So it's okay. I'm glad you have it. At least one of us does. Because if I had it, I'd be wearing it.
I wear it a lot, actually.
I
don't know. I mean, I wasn't prepared for Derek to be here. To actually have a show.
Kind of throws things off. I understand. If you want, I'll peace out for 15 minutes. Stop in just randomly.
Come back.
You want to do that?
15 minutes. Last time you pieced out for 15 minutes, we thought you died because we didn't hear from you. We didn't see you for like a month. Days.
Yeah, I might go to bed with my daughter. I don't know. In a sleeping capacity.
Yeah. That was no.
Oh,
so how we doing, gentlemen?
The batteries are low. That's nice to know.
I am tremendous, sir. I am just great. I watched a lot of wrestling. There's wrestling on right now. Generally, when I watch a lot of wrestling, I'm having a good week, and I have done such. So therefore, I'm having a good week. It's the I don't know if correlation and causation line up like that, but I'm just gonna go with it. Probably does.
Cool. What about you, Shitstain? How are you doing?
Tom actually paid for an AEW show, so I'm pretty impressed with that. I still haven't done that for a couple years now.
So I'm assuming that you both watched Full Gear, huh?
Sure did.
Yeah.
Well, guess who didn't? I didn't. You know why? Because I didn't feel like using what little free time that I had this week and wasting it on a show that I didn't care about.
Well,
so I'm really interested to see what the general consensus amongst the class is on how good Full Gear was. So, you guys have been chatting it up all weekend about Full Gear in the group message, and I'm sure you don't really have too much to add. But that's just simply because I didn't care enough to.
I'm just really glad to hear that Walt decided to bless us with his free time that he has this evening to hear about what we thought about Full Gear.
I'll tell you what I thought. So I thought Full Gear from the beginning of Full Gear. I had wished that I had spent my $50 on $50 and killed myself. However,
all that is sugar, bro. That had just been a fucking straight case of diabetes.
All right, whatever. Look, diabetes
we'd had to start calling you Wilford.
Diabetes could, maybe I'd have lost a foot then. I don't know. It might, but anyway, it picked up though, and my Dollarita rage, it dwindled, and I was okay by the end. We can go through it a little bit if you want me to tell you what I thought was fucking terrible.
Yeah, because I'd love to hear you and Derek argue about this, because I'm sure that Marky Mark up there fucking probably bent over backwards and fucking twiddled his own twat just to figure out how to put this show over. So I can't wait to hear this conversation in real time.
Quite the disturbing picture in my head there. Actually, it really I'm a little bit disturbed by that. So things that I thought sucked. One, the booking. Overall, the show seemed to have been put together by a drunk hobo who found a bag of cocaine.
So the show got put together by Tony Khan. This is the same criticisms that we hear week in and week out about the lack of continuity in the AEW product. So we're surprised. Not surprised. Okay.
Not surprised. I'm just saying that the booking in and of itself is terrible. And here's why. So on this card,
because Tony Khan's on a 47 fucking month cocaine bender. That's why the booking's terrible.
So
why don't you just tell us what you liked about the booking, Tom?
So hold on. No, I'm not going to get, because I have to tell you about what I didn't like first, because that's how the show started. So we got to go in order of in continuity, because I can book things in my head in continuity. So for starters, there's a Texas death match, and we know this on this show, right? And there's never once been a Texas death match in AEW where there was not gobs and gobs of blood. However, prior to the Texas death match, there are two matches that also involve blood. Neither of those matches needed a drop of it to be any different than what they were. But there were two matches that had blood that didn't need it at all. Let's go ahead and start with the first match, at least the first match that rings in my head of like, God, this stinks. The worst match I've possibly seen all year was Jon Moxley versus Orange Cassidy. This match was so fucking bad. Jon Moxley no-sold the whole match, and then just gets beat at the end, and Orange Cassidy retains. This match was garbage. Oh, Mox bled, obviously, because there needed to be blood in the worst fucking Jon Moxley match ever. It was terrible. It was an awful match. Orange Cassidy won after like 5 terrible-looking orange punches and the beach break. Is that his finisher? Terrible. Just looked terrible. It wasn't believable. Mox just looked there like he was just taking hits but not actually selling them, and awful match. And we roll along. There's a 6-man tag match that includes your boy, the rated R superstar, Mr. Adam Copeland. No.
I'm just gonna go ahead and stop you right now.
He's not your boy.
Adam Copeland is not my boy. All right.
Edge is your boy. Right.
Edge was my boy. All right. I don't know how many times I have to continue to lay this out for everybody in this fucking group to understand that I do not support what is currently happening with the AEW product and one Adam Copeland.
All right. Well, this match, you'll be surprised to find out, was dog shit, hot garbage, just terrible. I mean, it got nobody anywhere. In fact, Christian Cage ran away about 3/4 of the way through the match.
Well, it's because he didn't want to get beat up by my 92-year-old Ric Flair, who fell asleep in the middle of his last match.
Ric Flair was there. I forgot
because he had every right to be there. I mean, let's just start him out. Fucking get a couple clicks. I mean, it got Tom to buy. I mean,
I guess you're right. Anyway, so
Derek clearly doesn't share your opinion on the quality of
that match. Was also
complete
and utter dog shit. Just it was not as bad as Orange Cassidy versus Jon Moxley, but it was bad. So there was that match. There was also a ladder match, which was an 8-man tag 4-way ladder match. There was just too many people in this match. It was too many people in this match. There were some good
8
spots.
People. There was 8.
Yeah, 8 is too many. 8 is too many.
That's how many it was made for.
There were too many. Okay.
Okay. But wait. Money in the Bank is a ladder match, and it's 8 people, and we didn't have any problem putting that over every year.
No, it's one of my favorite pay-per-views.
This was a little bit too. This was too much chaos. It felt like a lot of people got lost in this match. Think about but let's also think about how many Money in the Bank ladder matches kind of people just get lost.
A lot,
right? That was even more so with this match. Roosh and his partner. I'm not really sure why they were there.
Listico.
Who used to be Sin Cara, right? Same guy? No. That's not the same guy?
No.
They're the same
mask? I don't know. Who knows? They wear masks. How would you know?
So there was that. Those guys, they kind of got lost in the whole match. They weren't really there. Brody King was the star of the match. But Malachi Black, he got lost at some point and then just didn't really. He showed up to like break a pin somewhere, and then just that was it. He didn't do much either. Brody King was great though. He really stood out in that match. Big Bill, he's a big guy. He wasn't much a part of it either. It seemed to be Brody King giving everybody big bumps, and and then Ricky Starks jumping in, just doing cool Ricky Starks things.
It's because he's a star.
Because he's a star. There were 8 guys in that match. There could have very easily been 4, and it would have been infinitely better because there were like 4 guys that really never made any impact in the match whatsoever. And there was also blood in this match, which I get it. It's a ladder match. It makes sense for there to be blood in the match. It didn't really play into anything though. Like Brody King got bloody, but it didn't really it didn't mean anything to me because he just kind of bled into his already painted face and just had like a little bit of blood in his already white painted face. It was fine, but with a Texas death match coming up, I didn't feel like it was necessary. I don't feel like it added much to the match. And so there was that. The champs retained again. I'm not a fan of champions retaining on a pay-per-view. I'm really not. I like to see title changes.
Yeah, but then listen, but here's the thing. But wait, here's the thing, right? Like, yeah, you love title changes, but if they would have dropped the titles and changed the titles right there, we'd be complaining that they were hot potato in the World Tag Team Championship.
Maybe, but at the same time,
because those guys have only been champions for like 3 weeks, man.
We're hot potato in pay-per-views, though. We got pay-per-view. Like AEW used to have 4 pay-per-views a year. Now there's like 10 or 12.
Well, there's clearly monetary issues.
Absolutely, there's monetary issues, but
well, we don't have to what, Derek? You're sitting over there, you're lost in the sauce.
Why am I watching? Half these matches could have been on some of these failing TV programs and maybe promoted them a little bit. How about that? You telling me Jon Moxley versus Orange Cassidy doesn't put more than 242,000 viewers on Collision because that's all Collision got?
Yeah, on a Friday night up against SmackDown.
Just a business.
Not on its real
night. And it's an off day. Yeah,
true, but day. Still 200,000 views.
Friday night is not the night for fighting. It's Saturday night.
Except SmackDown has 2.5 million viewers. So you're telling me they couldn't get?
Hey, do you know what the number on Friday? I'm interested.
It was less than that. It was 230, 220 something like that. It was pretty. It was all very low. It was like not good. Like random YouTube videos get more in a few hours than.
Because listen, I'll be honest with you, I didn't hate the fact that they were both on Friday night and they were head to head, right? And that Rampage went that 3 hour, that AEW went the 3 hours. I wasn't bothered by that at all because I DVR'd both of them, and I got home from work and I watched SmackDown, and with the DVR, it probably takes me about an hour and 26 minutes, give or take, maybe. Right? Yeah. Maybe hour and 20 top, something around there. So I mean, I got to do the same thing with Collision and then Rampage, and I mean, I didn't hate it. I didn't hate the fact that I had options to do what I was doing. Right?
No, and I like that too. I think the last time NXT and AEW were on at the same time, that was one of my favorite nights of wrestling ever because I could flip back and forth and it was nostalgic. And I did that a little bit. I was kind of busy on Friday, but I did that a little bit because I got to catch the end of SmackDown and the end of
he was busy. All right.
Anyway, no, that wasn't on Friday. I didn't do that on Friday. Anyway,
I didn't do it at all. So I mean, there's that.
Well, I'm sorry for your luck, but
yeah, well,
anyway,
you know, so, I mean,
where were we talking about? Oh yeah, AEW Rampage. So, but here's the positive, or AEW. Here's the positives though. So I gave you kind of like some crap. These were crappy. These were bad.
Hold on.
All right, well, Derek. Why do you think I'm wrong? Before we go into that, because there were things that I liked. You tell me why you think I'm wrong about particularly the matches that I. Oh, and they took a whole 15-ish minutes to bring out Bruv, Will Ospreay, just in the middle of the fucking show, like, oh, I'm all elite now, bruv, but I'm not gonna be here for a little while, and I'm gonna come back here next year, and I'm gonna show you why bruv is all elite, bruv.
Dumb. Yeah, that was 100% just to sell tickets to All In. I mean, that was. I'm not gonna.
Bad.
Okay, so like I said in the chat, we had 4 hours of wrestling pay-per-view, including the the pregame. We'll call it pre.
Bro, there were 6 if we're counting the pregame because that shit went from 6:30 to 12:30.
All right. Well,
and I'm gonna call you bruv tonight.
So
because of that, bruv.
Not everything is going to be some sort of, godsend winner.
Why the fuck not? It was a $50 pay-per-view.
Okay, $50 in 2023
Man,
is
like
$15.
Man, I'm looking like the fucking smartest guy in the room right now. That's all I'm saying.
So, anyway, the first match of the actual real pay-per-view. Let's start with that. All right, you've got the 6-man tag.
Hot garbage. Trash.
Not at all hot garbage. For one,
garbage. That could have been Goldberg.
One of Sting's last match, if not his last match.
They could have dug up Macho Man Randy Savage's corpse.
Sting looked good for his last match in California, in LA. For 2,
he barely did anything.
Oh, but he threw some pain on the young Wayne child. And it was actually very entertaining. I enjoyed that as an opening match. I think it was a perfect opening match. And you know what we didn't see? We didn't see,
for one,
Adam Copeland or Edge, whatever you want to refer to him as, and Christian. There was nothing. There was nothing.
There wasn't.
There was a tease of it. But that right there, which I alluded to this earlier in the chat.
We should have tickled those bollocks on television, though, not on the $50 pay-per-view. You tickle those bollocks on the television.
You're not going to get it on this $50 pay-per-view because you need to come back and get more.
Oh, I got to pay $50 more?
Yeah, well, you do. Hopefully by that point it'll be $15 a month and you can pay for HBO. But now, like this is going to go on forever because this is the storyline. Do you not want to see them fight? You do. You do.
No, sure. After this, in fact, I could give a shit. I don't want to see them do anything. In fact, if they both show up on Wednesday and be like, we're going to retire together, see you guys later, I'll be like, oh, thank God.
Well, I don't agree with you there. If you want, I can give you a link to free TV. You can watch the rest of it on cable, and then you can watch the rest on streaming at, a dot.
Hey,
China.
That's illegal. We don't talk about that here.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Stop it.
But no, I thought that was great, and I think you're completely off base and just kind of out of your mind here, Tom.
Trash.
Because that's how you sell. That's how you get people to come back and watch on Monday. I'm sorry, not Monday. On Wednesday.
Okay, we'll see.
Exactly. I'm gonna watch on Monday.
Stop it. No, that's not.
I'm already watching on Monday. We'll see how well that goes on Wednesday. Because honestly, if that's what they're going to show me on Wednesday, I'm pretty sure I'd rather shave my balls with a rusty razor.
If anything, I was expecting you guys to come in here and talk shit on Tony Schiavone for trying to sell that Darby Allin was going to Everest this morning. On
Tony Schiavone has somehow managed to become the worst commentator in professional wrestling. Period.
Tony needs to be treated more like JR and just as a special occasions type guy.
Tony needs to be done. Tony needs to be done.
Where is your nostalgia bone, Tom? You have none.
It died when Tony Schiavone was like, "Isn't this great, old. Guys?" Ha.
God.
Fucking Tony Schiavone,
terrible
piece of shit.
You know what I find entertaining? I find entertaining that now that Joey Janela is gone, Tony Schiavone now takes all of Tom's ire when it comes to AEW.
He
gets all of it. Like Derek, last week when you decided that you were too good to hang out with us for like the 62nd consecutive week, Tom trashed Tony Schiavone last week too, and I likened it to your just irrational hatred for Mauro Ranallo, right? And it's like I just don't get it. I don't understand.
Derek and I do agree, though, that Nigel McGuinness is the best thing to happen to the AEW commentary team since AEW got commentary.
He's very good.
Well, mark me down as the third vote on that train because I agree as well.
He was very good. He literally it is so much better. Commentary is so much better with him on it. It's a night and day difference. It
gives me a break from fuckface and a mask.
Yeah, it goes
That's
from
literally what I was thinking on Saturday.
Instead of just cringing and going, "Oh, shut the fuck up," like you actually get to hear thoughtful insights. Somebody play a legitimate heel commentator. It's really, really good. He's really, really good. He really adds almost everything. He makes that like so much better. He adds so much to that commentary team. He is so much better. And once they got rid of Tony Schiavone to go do the in-ring thing, and bring out Will Ospreay, and Taz took over for where Tony Schiavone was. Commentary like that. This is right about when my opinion switched from "God, this show is dog shit" to "Hey, this show is actually pretty good." That was the like. So anyway, Derek, go on. Tell me about why I'm wrong about Jon Moxley and Orange Punch there.
This man, I'm not really gonna like say that you're wrong. It's just a matter of difference of opinion.
Just tell me he's wrong. Just tell me
it's
wrong.
The worst fucking match I've seen all year.
I mean, honestly,
so bad.
You got to have filler matches. Was going to be my argument.
Jon Moxley
is a filler match. You guys are
at this point he literally is. You're going to put this death.
So Derek agrees with me that it was garbage.
Up against
garbage.
No, I like.
You can't put a filler match on a $50 pay-per-view. You can. Cut the match. Cut it.
It's 6 hours, as you've already said.
Cut it.
Wait, hold on.
Cut it.
$6.50. It's less than.
Cut the match. It doesn't matter. Let me go to bed at 11:30 instead of $12.
$7 an hour is what you're
paying.
Cut it.
I don't care. Cut the match.
Okay.
Cut the match. Put it on Wednesday. Maybe make it the main event for Wednesday because I'm not going to watch.
Why? You would just complain about it on.
No, some other marks would watch it. Not me. I wouldn't watch it because I didn't pay for it. So
you paid $50 for Ric Flair. Let's just be honest here. Did you get your money's worth there? Were you happy?
No, I didn't. I got my money's worth at the end.
I hope you bought some.
And a little bit, and actually in the pre-show, the pre-show was phenomenal. So the end of the pre-show was phenomenal.
No, it wasn't.
Oh my God, you're stupid.
Nope, you're stupid. That was the dumbest idea.
I loved it. Oh my God. All right, let me explain to you, Walt, because I know you didn't see, but here's what happened in that pre-show. Okay, so Samoa Joe is MJF's tag partner for the Ring of Honor tag team titles. Okay, because he told Max he was going to fill in, and he's been sticking this bug in Max's ear every Wednesday and every Saturday for a month. So finally, that happens. Samoa Joe, and they defend the tag titles, and it's a great match. It's awesome. The MJF does a muscle buster. It's great. It's classic Joe. MJF puts on a great show. The Guns, I love the Guns. They've really come into their own at this point. Fantastic match. And then at the end, they won. Joe actually is the one that gets the win. Joe fucks off because he did his part, right? He left. He's not MJF's friend, but he left. Helped him defend the title, then he left. Guns
now
attack.
It gets stupid.
Guns attack MJF in kayfabe, and in kayfabe smash his leg with a chair while his leg's in the chair and yada yada. So they're wheeling MJF to the ambulance. Adam Cole's there with his crutches, and they're putting MJF in the ambulance, and MJF's yelling to Adam Cole. He's like, Adam, look at me. Don't let him take my title. Don't let him take my title. And the ambulance drives off. And that's how the pre-show ends. And then we start with this stupid 6-man tag.
Okay,
So
well, I will say that sounds like a much better ending to the pre-show that would make me want to click buy if I was on the fence than some of the shit that they've done before.
Absolutely.
Like Derek and I fell asleep during watching the pay-per-view at his house.
I'm just saying it was great. I was in. I was into it. I was there. I'm in. Okay. I'm in. I'm here. I'm good. All right. Good. I'm sitting. I'm chilling, watching the show. Then they just feed me garbage for like 2.5 hours.
They didn't feed you garbage. They gave you what you wanted. They didn't give you what you wanted, I should say.
They did.
That's what it is. You wanted, like,
no, they fed me garbage. What did they give me that was any good? Yeah. They fed me garbage.
Adam Copeland and Christian. I'm sorry.
That was shit. It was garbage. It was garbage.
I can't get into why the end of the pre-show was stupid without getting to the main event.
Right. So we'll get there. We'll get there. Anyway, then we bring out the ladies in the I think was the TBS title first, or was it the
TBS title? Yeah.
It was the TBS title comes out first. And it's a triple threat. And honest to God, Statlander and Julia Hart and Sky Blue tore the house down. I went into this thinking this is going to be trash like the rest of it. No, it was like a legitimate good use of a triple threat match. You could tell they all worked this out. They were like, look, we very much like.
Maybe they called it in the ring, pal.
Huh?
Maybe they called it in the ring, pal.
Whatever they did, it was great. Okay, so they killed it. This was a great triple threat match. This was a great TBS title match. I like what Julia Hart's been doing as of late. All of the like sort of Undertaker vibes she's been kind of doing, being sort of on her own, but with the House of Black, but also on her own. She came out by herself, had a great entrance, looked great while she was doing it with the hat, with the everything. Had a great match. All three of them did. And I thought this match was great. And I'm like, all right, this is starting to pick up. Then we get another women's title match, which is Toni Storm.
Can I interject before we talk about Toni Storm? So I just want to make sure that I'm following in here. Excited about the women's triple threat match for the women's television championship on pay-per-view.
It was a good match,
but we're not excited about Adam and Christian and their payoff that like people actually wanted to pay money to see.
Right, but there was no payoff.
Yeah, so that match could have been on TV then.
So the television championship, yeah.
Well, no, the 3-on-3 tag absolutely should have been on TV. The TBS title match was a pay-per-view caliber match. However, should the TBS title be defended on TBS? Yeah, probably. But
considering they're, the show in which it's usually defended on is the only show that's on TNT.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like having a YouTube championship and having it on,
Yeah,
Twitch.
Exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Right. But so
thank you.
Still, I'm just going by match quality. This was a good one. And then we get Toni Storm versus Hikaru Shida. Again, going into this, very sort of low expect, at least for Shida. I love Toni Storm. I think Toni Storm's been doing phenomenal. And I think even
Hikaru Shida is a fucking dumpster fire. We've been talking about this for a year, and somehow she's a 3-time world champion, and somehow, some way, she is the world champion, and she gets worse every time I see her.
So Shida didn't do much in this match, but Toni Storm was phenomenal. And Toni Storm comes out with Dr. Luther.
Maybe she was timeless.
Dr. Luther was her butler, walked out with a medal with a plate with a pair of shoes on it. Watch for the shoe. Anyway, during the match, this was my favorite little gimmick part of the whole thing. Is Dr. Luther shoves one shoe in Toni Storm's like tights and hands her the other one, and she goes to hit Hikaru Shida with the shoe in her hand, and Aubrey Edwards takes the shoe from her, and then Aubrey Edwards turns her head, and Dr. Luther starts arguing with her, and Toni Storm pulls out the other shoe from her back like pocket and smacks shit in the face with it. It was great. Then threw it away, gets a 2 count. That was awesome. And then the finish I thought was also great because the silver platter that they brought the shoes in on, Toni sticks it into her tights as well. So it's like on her ass, and she gives her a hip attack in the corner with the metal thing in the back, pins her 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, and it's sticking out like crazy. And Aubrey Edwards was like, huh?
Aubrey Edwards should have seen it.
I don't see anything, Wilbur.
But it was so perfectly.
How is this okay to you, Tom? I'm not trying to start a loud argument with you, but
it was so perfect within the character. And like, I love Toni Storm's facials when she's selling now because they're different. They're timeless faces. She makes faces as though she's a 20s starlet when she gets hit. Like,
oh my God,
I love it. I am 100% in. Toni Storm won, as she should. Fantastic. Like it was the Toni Storm show, and you could have put her in there with anybody, and it would have.
Could you imagine how over this character would be if she was still in WWE?
Oh my God, it would. She would be as over, if not more so, than Rhea Ripley right now.
Yeah, I bet you Vince would be like molesting her.
It is so good. It's unbelievably good.
It is very good.
So then we had that.
I mean, at least we can say that, that's her idea, right? Like we can give her the credit for it being so incredibly good.
It's
certainly not going to give it to whatever AEW's executive team is.
No, because I've seen everything else that they've done, and it's been ridiculous. Anyway, I think shortly after this is where that ladder match happened. I thought that ladder match was kind of a clusterfuck. Like there were some good spots. It was okay. It was fine.
It was more time filler. I'm not. It was more time filler. I'm not going to argue with you on that one.
There were. I mean, as long as
it was dog trash, like it was fine.
I almost forgot the other fucking garbage match that nobody should ever care about was Jericho and Omega versus the Bucks. Holy shit, it was such a forgettable match. So forgettable. I mean, it was like, going into it, I at least had a little bit higher expectations for this match. Going into it, I was like, oh, this should be cool. Right? You got Kenny Omega versus the Young Bucks, and we got Chris Jericho, who can certainly fill a role. Snooze fest. Not great. Kind of a sleepy time. It was a good.
How many stars? Do you know how many stars Dave Meltzer gave it? Probably what, 9, 12?
I don't know that I saw star ratings for this, but it was not. I thought it was boring. Standard Young Bucks stuff. They hit all they played all the hits, but they didn't really even play them well.
They played the 5 moves of doom.
I think that's where we're at though with the Young Bucks match though. You're gonna get what they give, and that's what it is. It's the same shit over and over, and it's not something to tune in for. It's not something to sit there and buy the pay-per-view for.
When they did all those trios matches, though,
if that's what you're into, then buy it. But you gotta go into it saying like, I'm not gonna get anything new.
This wasn't a big match, but like there weren't big moves in this match. This felt phoned in by everybody involved, and maybe they didn't like their spot on the card because they were kind of smack dab in the middle of a 6-hour pay-per-view.
Maybe because they're wrestling against a 50-year-old man.
And they were wrestling against a 50-year-old man, but it was a snooze fest. And, I think that's probably the biggest criticism you can give to the Young Bucks is that, their match was boring as shit.
It's the same match. It's always boring though.
They've
lost their indie magic where, before, whenever they were on the road all the time, going to small towns, going to gyms, going to little arenas, going to state fairs, oh man, I'm going to see Young Bucks. I'm going to go see a Young Bucks match. It's shit you don't see every week on Wednesday. Now that you see it every week on Wednesday, I see it on Wednesday, I see it on Friday, I see it on Saturday if CM Punk isn't there, then I've already seen it, and I was excited as anybody else to see some Young Bucks.
Not to spoiler anybody's spoilers, but there was no no development either in the who's in the devil mask at all.
No.
There was none of that. It was like it never had happened. It was never brought up. It was never referenced. It was never nobody came out.
Weeks in between attacks on TV though too. So there was no guarantee that was going to be the case here.
No, I understand. I'm not saying there was a guarantee, but like it's one of the biggest questionable things. And it's like you would expect if they want us to pay $50, maybe we would get a little tease of something, a little thread, but we got nothing.
Well, we've got no ratings on Saturday, so if you tune in Saturday, maybe we'll find out.
Okay.
Pop our ratings. We'll give you a little story tidbit.
Oh yeah. Hey, maybe watch on Wednesday, and maybe we'll tell you. Maybe we'll tell you a little bit about what's going on in our wrestling.
Because we are a TV company.
Yeah. Should have put some of these matches on TV.
We're not a pay-per-view company.
Should have put some of these matches on TV then. But
anyway, the television championship match.
One of the television championship matches. So Derek, you go ahead and talk a little bit about how you feel about this stuff, because I want to finish googling the match card here.
I mean, genuinely, I think I've made it pretty clear that through this middle section here, you and I really haven't divulged much, or I mean, what would be the word here? Skewed apart from each other. We've actually been pretty in line with each other's views on the middle section of it. I feel you there. The middle section, it was what it was. Like I've already said, there was a lot of filler because it's necessary. And I don't agree with the 6 hours for $50 is a bad value. And you're going to have this. You're going to have this in WWE. You're going to have this in TNA. You're going to have this in AEW. It doesn't matter where you go. You can go to NWA. They're going to be sniffing cocaine. It is what it is.
Yeah, they will.
There's always going to have to be something to fill some time to make the casual viewer feel like, oh man, I got 6 hours of entertainment for $50. All right, well, the guy that watches every week, or at least follows every week, I know you don't watch every week, but at least you follow. You're gonna want the main beats, and I get that. But if you're that pissed off about it, just get on a YouTube and watch some match recaps. Now,
I'm getting on YouTube to complain about
I genuinely feel
that's
like
what you do in 2023 is you get
right,
on YouTube
right. That's what we do here. Yeah. I feel like for my $50 though, the main beats of the whole story that we got or the whole pay-per-view were very well worth my money.
So
I'm proud of you, Derek. You know what? I'm listen, Tom. I've got to interject. Derek, I'm proud of you. You found the ability to stand up for yourself here, right? Like usually you just let Tom fucking just like barrel you over when it comes to these AEW conferences. You really did your homework on this one. I'm fucking proud of you.
I sure did.
I really am.
Right, so I'm also proud of how
it's an interesting drug.
I'm also very proud of how I did my homework too, because the only two matches that I have that were left in my head are the only two matches we haven't talked about. So I want to talk about the Texas Death Match a little bit.
Whose house is this?
Swerve's house.
And here's why. That Texas Death Match was the best Texas Death Match I've ever seen in my life. It was, without a doubt, it was brutal. It was well thought out. It was well planned. It was well executed. I have one criticism.
There he is.
Prince Nana with Swerve makes no fucking sense because they've got Swerve booked like a brutal mastermind, like just monster, and he is playing that character incredibly. However, he's got somebody that looks kind of like Flava Flav dancing like an idiot behind him.
Are you telling me that I danced like an idiot earlier? Is that what you're implying?
Absolutely.
Hey, pal.
Wow.
Can I be the spoiler here?
Yes.
It's supposed to be that way, right? It's like fucking Pinky in the Brain, bro. Like you've got to have that comedic relief whenever you're putting something so fucking far over the top, edgy in your face. Dark. You need that balance, man. Like
he's intense as fuck, and then we get Prince Nana. Like,
okay, I don't necessarily agree with that, but That's fine. That doesn't take away from what the match was, though.
No, it doesn't take away from the character either. I think that you need to not look so small scope on the character of it, bro. You need to fucking look at the big picture of what the presentation is. It's an experience, right? Like you've got to experience that shit. Don't just fucking live in this little box, right? Like enjoy everything that you see for what it is.
Wow. Stimulate your mind, Tom.
I did love the death match, and here's why.
Listen, I'm honestly I'm stalling a little bit here because I'm trying to collect myself, because this is the type of match that no matter who's in it on any show during any month in any promotion, that you would just instantly fucking just gut and quarter. Okay, so like I'm trying to gather myself that you're giving this match its just deserves, right? Like
I'm gonna tell you,
I clearly didn't watch the show, but I have seen nothing but praise about this.
I'm gonna tell you why. So I winced a few times during this match, and I winced in the good way. Remember when Shayna Baszler picked up during Elimination Chamber, picked up Liv Morgan and smashed her into the cage like 5 times?
Yes.
And you winced at that. We all went, oh God. This was like that. So Swerve gets busted open the hard way. And Adam Page grabs his head, gets underneath of him, and drinks his blood. There was no blading in this match. It was all hard way. And oh my God. Oh my God. He stapled a thing to his face. Like,
Tom, I love you and I love that you love this. But if it was Moxley, you would be like, this is the most.
I gotta agree with Derek, man.
Because he would have, there was no blading here. This was all hard way. And I mean, they went for it. They didn't cut any corners. They were like, this is a death match. One of us is going to fucking die.
It was fucking amazing.
That's what happened. It was
like, I'm giddy to talk about this.
It was, I can't believe it went as hard as it did. It went so hard. Usually I'm like, it's a death match. Why isn't somebody dead? Adam Page was slipping in blood. All hard way blood. Like slipping, like couldn't stand up, falling down. Because there was so much blood, and he's wearing those goddamn cowboy boots with no traction on him. He's slipping around in the ring. That's how that was how like intense this match was. And it was so like, oh God, like
dude, when Swerve was coming at him with the staple gun and just stapling himself as he's walking over. Oh my gosh. Like,
I mean, that to me solidified Swerve in my head. Like, this man is a stone cold killer.
Oh,
and it was so. I mean, this is why they should have saved the blood, because we got 2 pussy weak versions of like, I'm gonna bleed a little bit. I got a blade. Oh no,
it doesn't matter though. It's a fight.
No, it matters. Look, it matters to me, buddy.
Listen,
wrestling's still real to me.
What is happening right now? Like what?
I'm pretty sure Tom and I have a date at the nearest high school gym to see some deathmatch wrestling with light tubes.
Did somebody actually die?
Did I die and wake up in the Twilight Zone? Is that what the fuck has happened right here?
Look, it maybe just took the best death match of all time to convince me.
Quick question for the group. There's a lot of debate online that Swerve's gear was a tribute to Bray Wyatt or a tribute to Texas Deathmatch legend Terry Funk. What say you, sir?
I mean, it was soaked in blood at the end. I mean, it might have been a little of both, truth be told.
It's the easy answer. Bray Wyatt's was a tribute to Terry Funk. Swerve's was a tribute to Bray Wyatt, who was tributing Terry Funk.
Yeah,
they both have a similar. I mean, you can look at all the pictures.
I'm gonna agree with what Derek said, because I saw that today too. I didn't think about it live while it was happening, but because during the moment I was like, oh God, Like that was my reaction.
Listen, this is no bullshit. I'm gonna have to go fucking watch this match just
This
because
is where
I've got to understand what's got Tom over the moon. This here, is the match. I know this match could have been stellar, and if it would have been Jon Moxley versus fucking Claudio Castagnoli or some fucking chooch, some other chooch, fucking Tom would be like, this was the worst match ever. All this blood, it's goddamn unnecessary. I just don't understand.
No, I mean, I thought it was that. Also, they've really been building this feud pretty well. So I thought that this, as the blow off to this feud, was pretty good.
So let me ask you a question, because I think that this is an important thing that we need to discuss. Based on where we're at coming out of Full Gear with Swerve Strickland as a package, right? I feel like we've got to eat a little bit of crow from a few weeks ago, huh? Whenever like we're like, he made that comment on Twitter about, just wait and see. I'm the most important, whatever it was, right? And I think we kind of shit on that a little bit. Oh, WWE letting him leave was the biggest mistake that they ever made. That was the comment. And I think that like the three of us came in here and we kind of shit on that notion a little bit, right? We kind of got to eat some humble pie, it sounds like.
No, I'm very he wouldn't have been able to do this, and he's finding some ground, I think, in AEW, and I think that not only is he finding ground, but he's found a lane and he's in it now.
Yeah. That is everything.
And I think that's really the key to all of this. And I think if they continue to allow him to do what he's doing, despite my dislike of Prince Nana and that whole thing around it,
I'm telling you, bro, look at it big picture and enjoy it for what it is.
I'm not saying he ruins it. I'm just saying that I don't think Swerve would need it necessarily, but
it's a nice garnish.
It's fine.
You know what? It's like the teriyaki sauce on the chicken that you didn't.
As long as it doesn't go any further than where it is,
right? Isn't that your thing?
Sure. As long
as
put
some teriyaki on it, bro.
As long as it doesn't go any further than it already is, that's
he's
fine.
like a Jimmy Hart for the kids.
Okay.
Really,
for a guy who is portrayed as like a brutal, like mafia boss, death row murderer.
But
how many death row murderers did Jimmy Hart manage, though?
Hulk Hogan and fucking Tugboat?
Yeah, Hulk Hogan's terrible human.
I mean, but not on TV.
Hey, MJF said that Hulk Hogan's a terrible human. Great for the business, terrible human.
I mean, he is a terrible human. Like, that's nobody. We can't disagree with. Like we can all agree that Terry Bollea is a terrible person, right?
Hey, did you see Nick Bollea? He's got arrested for like his 50-second DUI this month.
Yeah,
it comes crashing down and it hurts inside, really? Right?
Like, why is TMZ even covering this? Like, no one knows who this is.
Because he's Hulk Hogan's kid. He was on Hogan Knows Best.
Yeah, man, they had a whole reality show. We all know who he is.
If you could line him up
since he was 15
against 10 other humans that were white and bald, there's zero chance I'd have picked him out.
Look, man, Hulk Hogan's daughter.
He's got the Hulk liver spots on his forehead, bro. I'd have picked him fucking 10 times out of 10.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Also, Hulk Hogan's daughter, hot as fuck. She's older than we are, so she was chef's kiss.
Still is too.
I mean, I haven't seen her since like.
Wow, just Google a picture of her, pal.
All right, fair enough.
The internet does exist.
She's like 40-some years old. I'm just saying. At the time when Hogan knew best, major crush.
Yeah, but listen, pal. I mean, we were in our hot girl phase then. Now we're in our hot mom phase. Like it's a, you know what I'm saying? It all correlates, bro. Okay, you just move up the fucking ladder. You know,
up the chain. Huh?
I mean, Stacy Keibler's still a fucking 13 out of 10. Like,
how is she not aged a second?
God bless America.
I don't understand how that happens.
I understand how that happens.
She looks exactly the same.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Trish Stratus don't look exactly the same.
I understand how that happens.
Trish Stratus has a different shape. Has a different face entirely.
Right. Doesn't even look
it's not even the same face.
Hey, look at Sonny. Sonny's looking rough.
Oof.
No, Trish looks fine. Trish looks
You know what? Sonny's in jail so goddamn much. They need to write her into the Orange is the New Black thing on fucking
Netflix.
Just make her a fucking character on the show.
Please do that. Please.
I'm pretty sure that
I used to be a pro wrestler, but then I made a bunch of bad decisions and killed somebody.
Sean comes and visits her. And then Brett, too.
Made a lot of really bad decisions. And then anyway, so the final match, and we actually did hit all of them.
Yeah.
Was because I pulled
finally we can get to this. Okay.
All right. Was it did end up finally being because so Adam Cole was hobbling out there to fight for MJF in his boot and everything with the crutches. He was hobbling, Adam Cole, baby, but like with crutches. And he was going out there to fight on MJF's behalf.
Stupid.
And Jay White's just standing there like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on here? Like, this is crazy. There was no Juice Robinson though. All night.
He's hurt.
He's hurt. I know, but there was no Juice Robinson. Just to point that out, because I feel like Juice Robinson adds a lot to everything he's in. He's the real star of that group. Although I do like all of them, but Juice Robinson, real top guy. Not for this discussion point, but he's been a star to me.
Hey, listen, Cash Wheeler's a member of the Bang Bang Gang. Don't forget now.
Anyway, so Adam Cole's hobbling out there, and MJF shows up driving the goddamn ambulance like it's Monday Night Raw in 1998. Drives the ambulance back. Who gave him the keys to the ambulance to drive the ambulance back to the arena? I don't know, but he did it because he was a fan of Stone Cold Steve Austin when he was fucking 6 or whatever. Drove that ambulance back to go and defend his title. And he beat Jay White with one goddamn leg. Although sometimes like he would sell the leg, but then like he would like do the thing where he beats his leg and like to like get the blood back into it or whatever they sell it on, however they sell it on commentary. And then his leg would work great for like 30 seconds and then it would be back to selling leg. So it was very classic WWE type stuff. I enjoyed it from a nostalgic factor because to me it was both funny, but it was also like great drama that they had.
So you enjoyed it because it was like WWE, not because it was AEW.
Right. But but it was in AEW and they did the right pro wrestling thing. They had also trickled through the show. They had Tony Schiavone come out and talk to Adam Cole. Like he's like, I'm going to defend MJF's title for him, like in the middle of the show. And Jay White came out and like, why? Like, this is stupid. You can't beat me. You can't even wrestle. You're on crutches. And it was
Tom, you legitimately just said it right there. This is stupid. This is the dumbest booking that this was not Tony Khan booking.
No, this was not Tony Khan booking. This was absolutely
not. This is like, oh, this was MJF and Adam Cole. This is
no, because this had a continuing story. So this had a storyline that had a thread from the pre-show that tied in the middle of the show and then paid off at the end of the show.
It did, and you know what the payoff was? Is
MJF
we have Jay White
on one leg.
Okay, so with one leg against Jay White, who's supposed to come in here as some sort of a big superstar from an outside promotion. He's held the New Japan Heavyweight Championship. What title has he held in AEW? What title?
The World Championship.
Yeah, he held it, but did he?
He looks great with it too.
He really
looks great with it.
Yeah, hasn't earned anything. You know how stupid he looks now that you lost to a one-legged man that came back?
Oh yeah, no, they fucking totally
after your goons already knocked him
MJF,
out.
Look, I don't disagree with you at all. MJF absolutely buried Jay White with this.
And then
he beat him with one. He beat him as a one-legged man and
buried the fuck out of Jay White.
He buried him, one-legged man and an.
Maybe they're gonna send him to Dynamite. Give him a fresh paint coat. You know what I mean?
But I think this. So to tie it all together, because we've been going on about this for about an hour. This almost leads us into our main event, though. What a great transition this may be. Unless Walt's got other things to talk about prior to that. Okay.
Oh, man, but God forbid, we just can't let that shit happen organically. We gotta just foreshadow the fuck out of the transition, don't we? Like I had a really good I had a good segue for this.
Okay, well, forget what I said.
Too late now.
Fucking 54-30. Cut it out.
I already fucked this pig. What was that?
I mean, fuck.
I already fucked this pig, huh?
Should have fucking stayed home,
I mean, it's in the clickbait title, buddy.
Oh yeah, about that clickbait title.
It's in the.
I forgot all about that. I'm glad you saw that.
Listen, all I'm saying is, I didn't see it. I read a lot about it. It felt very WWE, right? And for me, I asked the question. I said, "Man, is this like hey, look at me, look what I can do, and we're gonna make a bunch of money together, Paul, right? Tony doesn't understand what he's got, but look at me." That's what it felt like to me, right? And then this morning, I hear WWE's not even talking to MJF. Like, not even having a little chit chat.
They don't even have each other saved in their phones.
No,
because according to the internet, we don't know shit. Obviously,
I trust Nick Houseman quite a bit.
I do too.
Okay, all right.
He's a chooch, but he not really steered us wrong too many times.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right.
Certain people in the wrestling business do hate him, but I do.
I'm just saying this might be a thing that they might keep from him, or something. Somebody could lie to him. I absolutely,
of course.
Look, at no point, if you're gonna lie to Nick Houseman or really any wrestling writer, commentator, whatever, you lie to them about MJF. I think that not only maintains the sort of aura and the kayfabe, but anyway, I apologize.
If for whatever reason, though, you were thinking that it's November, so that in 2 months' time, you were going to lose your top superstar, not just your top heel, not your top babyface, your top superstar, your top performer, wrestler
your biggest
in the company.
The only guy that people going to see.
To just let him shit all over a potential main eventer that you also have just pulled from New Japan. You're not going to do it. That would just be stupid.
Okay.
And then there was not even like a fucked up finish where, he hit him with the Dynamite Diamond Ring, blah, blah, blah. No, he got hit with a belt in the face, thanks to Adam Cole. He got hit with the Dynamite Diamond Ring. Well, almost. But, there was so many moments where it was like MJF could have easily just lost this because he's, for one, a man with one leg. For two, a man that's been to the hospital. And
no, there was some tomfoolery at the end of the match. No. Jay White did. It wasn't that clean. Jay White got hit with stuff.
Yeah, but Jay White was on the giving end much more than the receiving end of the flagrant bullshit.
Sure.
So it made him look weak. It made him look terrible.
I like how you see this.
Do that.
I do. I like how you see it, bro. I don't have any qualms about what you're saying. Matter of fact, I feel maybe a little bit more inclined to agree with you.
Me?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
It sucked because Derek thought it sucked.
Huh.
It didn't suck. It was great.
Sounds like it sucked.
Booking sucked.
I mean, at least it had so I like that it had a continuous thread. I can't say that it was my favorite match on the card by any stretch of anybody's imagination.
No, that was the television championship match that should have been on television.
It was not that match, but that was also very good. Although I appreciate you paying attention to me. You sexy bastard, you. Anyway, so MJF retains, and in sort of very dramatic fashion, over dramatic fashion, we'll say it was.
I heard it carried over to the post match presser. He's like,
so
crying
I went to
on
bed.
stage.
I did not watch that. I went to bed.
Well, this sounds like something that Derek would have watched. Derek, did he cry?
Oh, he cried like a baby. It was funny. And he also consumed a lot of pickles. There was multiple jars of pickles. He was totally pulling a CM Punk and repping the fuck out of this local pickle company.
Well,
I don't know.
Got his pickles though, right? Like he's been in the
it's like his picture all over him and shit. He's giving them out to the reporters and stuff. It was pretty funny. Yeah. And then of course he's like, yeah, see, another chick wants my pickles. or once MJF's pickle or something. It was funny.
So again, that just leads me to say this all sounds very WWE, but then I'm led to believe this morning that he may have quietly re-signed with AEW. So that brings me to the $1 million question. Do we really feel like this current run right now, where he's referenced WWE several million times at this point in the bidding war of 2024, do we think that the becoming the fan favorite, as he called it, do you think that this has changed the trajectory of his career, and perhaps he wants to explore being a babyface in AEW as opposed to going to WWE and doing the same song and dance that he's been doing for all these years? Do you think that this is some sort of Maxwell evolution, right? To get into a different character space, and maybe doesn't want to go to WWE and continue to do what he's known for?
I don't know. I still think there will be a bidding war of 2024. If you're asking me in all honesty, I do think that when his contract comes up or as it comes up, he will entertain offers if he hasn't already re-signed. Now, Tony Khan may have thrown him an insane amount of money. He may already be making Roman Reigns money at whatever 25 years old. He may be making Roman Reigns money.
What's that, about $3 million a year? I heard.
Yeah, three and a half, something like that. Like he may be making Roman Reigns money already. He may say, "Look, Roman's contract is $3.5 million. I want $3.5 million. You put that on the table right now. Continue to give me my creative freedom. I will sign today. You do not have to worry about losing your only draw."
Listen,
and Tony may have just been like, you know what? And in Tony Khan seeing that he has to black out, seats so that we, in small college basketball arenas, he may have said, "Okay, you've got me bent over a barrel here. Here you go, $3.5 million a year through 2027."
I mean, do you genuinely think? Because we're going to see the bidding war, but we're going to see it in kayfabe. That's what's going to happen. But, I mean, even coked up Tony, out of his mind, been on a 5-weekend bender straight, is not going to allow him to come out in a 2024 jacket, 2024 elbow pads. It's not going to, it's all part of the gimmick. There's no way that I'm going to let my main draw come out here and advertise the end date of his contract.
What is he going to do, though? What is his...
He's the freaking boss. He can do whatever he wants.
Buddy, since when?
If there's anything we've established, if there's anything we've established in AEW, is he is not the fucking boss.
Do you know why? Because he's softer than puppy shit, pal.
There we go. There it is. There it is.
I'm just saying, what a smart business. Maybe Shad had a little talk with this boy.
Whatever the peace pipe.
Are you just raw dog and orange juice there?
No, it's eggnog.
Eggnog.
Southern Comfort eggnog. Okay, fair enough.
Non-alcoholic.
Yeah, you raised my attention when I saw the Southern Comfort logo in the background of your.
Oh, good.
And then I realized what it was.
Good brand. Better than United.
It is a very good brand.
It's really good with. I mean, although you know what, I haven't had Southern Comfort in probably 20 years because. That being said, I'm only 38 years old, so 28 years ago, if you do the math, shouldn't have had it then, but still. Anyway. So, bidding war 2024. Man, I don't know. I feel like that's a solid rumor to start. It's great for somebody to lie to him there, and I would assume that somebody, especially after the pay-per-view, that really, and the way that MJF's threads have really, because there's the only thread that goes through any storyline that's ever happened really in AEW have been MJF threads. So it makes sense. It makes sense to me after MJF having a rather big night as far as a lot of the wrestling community is concerned, that, if they would ask WWE the next day, oh, hey, what's up with this? What are you going to do with him? And they could lie to him and say, oh, well, we haven't had conversations or whatever else, just to sort of like, because that's the story, right? If you play it down, it's not, it's a story to guys like us, and we'll talk about it, but this goes away by next week. This is the dissipate story, because if they've been talking to MJF, we're going to continue to talk about this on and on and on. But that's also going to bring eyes to AEW on and on and on. What's going to happen? Is MJF going to leave? We don't know. Like so I don't know. I guess that's the best way to put it. I can see arguments from both sides to where you would want to do it this way, to say, hey, let's just be as AEW is, other than MJF, cold right now. They've got some things coming with Swerve being a bright spot, things like that, but it's otherwise cold, particularly in the ratings department and in the ticket sales department. Why heat that up? Why heat up the last chance you're going to see MJF and AEW? Maybe WWE will fuck him up. Why heat up the last? Why heat that up at all? You know what I mean?
That's fair.
So that's where I am right now. We don't know, and I think it makes perfect sense to like downplay everything to keep that cold, to make that bidding more palatable. Or Tony Khan threw a bunch of money to MJF already. Just fucking opened the checkbook, was like, here's Roman Reigns' money. You're now the other highest paid wrestler in the world.
Derek, what do you think?
Poor decision not to do exactly what Tom just said. Give him the Roman Reigns money and keep him around. And I don't see why you would downplay anything. If I'm Tony and I already know I have this man under contract, which he does, then I'm telling him, yeah, play up that 2024 contract aspect. Do it to the best of your ability, because we know you're going to you don't need a script. You don't need any sort of guidance.
Well, he's not getting one anyway, so.
Yeah, they're not writing that. There's no writers. He's not paying writers.
Paper. You mean the thing that I roll up so I can...
Yeah.
Yeah. Take some of those. Give him more of those so that he can continue to do what he does, and to at least draw the eyeballs of the fans that you have and continue on this trajectory. Because that's your, like we talked about 2 weeks ago, that's your best shot. That's your only shot. If you lose him, you're done.
There ain't money otherwise. You're done. I mean, however, I will point out, though, with the interjection of Samoa Joe into this whole thing, with Samoa Joe being Max's tag team partner, but then also relinquishing the title to be like, you're running out of friends, Mac, because he did this on Wednesday. Samoa Joe relinquished his Ring of Honor TV champ after being the longest ever Ring of Honor TV champ. Relinquished the title, said, done with this. Come for you, Max, because you're running out of friends. So
Max did cover this in the media scrum, though.
He did, but here's just let me make my point, and then you can discuss. If you are going to take a belt off of Maxwell Jacob Friedman because he is leaving to go to a rival promotion, the guy you want to take that off of him is Samoa Joe. Because one, you have to put them in the ring together. And even if Max pulls some kind of bullshit about, I'm taking my title and going home, Samoa Joe will force him to drop the title to him. Samoa Joe is the Undertaker of now in that regard. He is that transitional guy. He is that transitional champion. He is the guy who you can believe will beat literally anybody on any given day and be the champion. However, we've also seen that that Samoa Joe can be beaten. So if he only holds the title for a month or two as a transitional champion, that will be fine. That's how Vince used The Undertaker. It makes sense that that's how Tony Khan could use Samoa Joe at this point in time. That's all I'm saying. And the fact that Samoa Joe is still in this mix-up makes a ton of sense to me if Max goes away. But if not, still love Samoa Joe in the mix because I love Samoa Joe. So it's a win-win either way.
I want to I want to talk about that. Like, I think that regardless, you have to put the belt on Samoa Joe right now. Whenever that happens, because it's arcing all too perfectly, right? And if you want to be able to shift into this, getting this bidding war of 2024 over, because you've already got him under wraps, it's not gonna work in his current form.
No,
So I mean, time will tell.
That is a great point, and
but I think having Joe in the I think having Joe in the mix of this makes more sense than having him out. Like, it doesn't make sense to have Joe and fucking John Moxley.
Hey, Derek doesn't know who that is.
No, I've educated myself on Joe and understand why you all respect him so much. And I definitely agree with you guys on this, that obviously he's going to have to lose it to make this 2024 bid actually, come across as legitimate.
Even if
that's probably where we're going to see it
or not. I mean, I think that him being in the, because here's the thing: if it is legit and he does leave, that just makes sense. Joe's the guy after that. Like, Joe has to be the guy. Yeah. But if it's not legit, having Joe in that mix and having MJF and Samoa Joe have great matches together also makes sense. Like, it that sells tickets. That's money too. So it does either way. It works.
And you know what the best part of that is? It has nothing to do with the devil aspect. So that can still go on.
Yeah, not a goddamn thing.
And there's zero chances it's Samoa Joe. That would just
all I'm saying is, if there's anybody but CM Punk behind that mask, the internet's gonna fucking riot.
I think they're gonna riot either way, either in a good way or a bad way, buddy.
Buddy, I hope if that's CM Punk, then they have pulled off.
Good Lord,
they have pulled off the greatest work of all time.
It would be amazing.
They win if.
Okay, but let me just.
What if it's Jungle Boy?
That's what I was just getting ready to ask.
I will be sad. The world will be sad.
I mean, everybody will be like, "What the fuck?"
Like, what a giant letdown that will be.
Absolutely,
worse. It'll be Tony Khan's big announcements on Twitter. That will be just a fart in church. It will be.
Oh my god!
So let me flip that question on you, Tom. If it's not CM Punk, who does it have to be?
Oh god, I don't even know. I mean, it has to be a new signing, right? It has to be somebody else. Derek,
who's that? Tom. It's Adam Cole. It has to be Adam. If it's not CM Punk, it has to be Adam.
So you're saying the Adam Cole ankle thing is a work?
I agree.
It has to be. So what you're saying is something's
a work.
Something has to be a work one way or the other.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
one of those.
You're right. No, you okay? Absolutely. Yeah. If it's not CM Punk, it has to be Adam Cole. You're right.
And we're being told that the people in the gimmick on television are the actual performers.
That's right. What we were told. Okay. No, you're right. Actually, if it's Adam Cole, I will also be into it.
And then we will get the most extreme multiplicative version of the scumbag that we have ever seen. It will be scumbag times 1,000.
That would be great if that's what. And if Adam Cole jumping off that thing, that's a work. Oh, that'd be great. That'd be tremendous.
Trail.
That would be the second best work they could pull off.
Mm-hmm.
But still a great work.
Might even be the best.
Because the CM Punk one would be the best. But
would it though at this point? Because
this would be almost as good.
We're worn out of the drama.
This would be on par.
Exactly.
This would be on par.
No, I think Derek's onto something there. Like, I kind of thought that early on, and then they were like really putting over the fact that this was a legitimate ankle injury. I don't know, man.
Adam. Oh, my door's opening.
You might be right. Actually, now that actually makes too much sense. Actually, that's who it is. That makes too much. That's who it is. That's what it is. Thanks for the spoilers, guys. I wanted to be excited about this. That's who it is. That's what it is. It's 100% that. No doubt in my mind.
What if it's Jack Perry?
I'll be sad.
And I will never watch AEW again if it's Jack Perry. If it's goddamn Jack Perry, I will never
What
watch
if? Hear me out. It's Adam Copeland's dinosaur.
I will never watch AEW again. And I will, in fact, burn that towel. I will burn my Better Than You, Baby shirt. I'll even burn my Danhausen shirt that I bought before Danhausen was even in AEW. And you can bring up AEW anytime you want. And I'll be like, what? What's that? I've never heard of that. No.
Oh, so you're gonna take the Vince McMahon stance.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
Absolutely. I will burn every semblance of thought of what it might be out of my mind, and it will no longer exist. It will be dead to me. Dead.
Well, we're almost to my favorite part of the show. And that's where I get to start a hot topic going off the air for us to discuss for a few minutes. But hey, overall, man, pretty cool. Derek, I'm glad you joined us and you graced us with your presence this evening.
And next week we get to talk about war games.
So there's only really one piece of business left.
One Piece.
Oh, it's my turn. So my match of the week is actually from the pre-show. So my match of the week is MJF and Samoa Joe versus the Gun Club. Not only for the theatrics after the fact, but for the match itself. God, I just love Samoa Joe matches. I just love MJF matches. And this somehow managed to be both of those things. Also, the Guns have just become one of my favorite tag teams. They are so great. And as far as teams that I think will leave and will sign with WWE once their contract is up, I am almost certain we will see the Guns in NXT. Probably, I don't know when their contract is up, but whenever that is, they're going to NXT for more money than they're being paid right now. Unless Tony Khan pushes them to the moon and signs them and, sends them a bunch of money. But I could see that happening, especially now that Triple H is in charge and, he and Billy Gunn are tight. I would imagine Billy will go as well as some sort of a backstage producer. I would see them as well. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Great match. Phenomenal end to their pre-show. Really just solidified my man, I'm so glad that I'm in on watching this pay-per-view tonight. They kind of farted in my face for a little bit right after that, but that match in and of itself was just great. What good tag team wrestling it was. Although I will point out that the Guns managed to somehow be in the ring together for a solid 5-ish minutes in the middle of the match. Because Bryce Remsburg is the worst referee in wrestling history, and they really need to adhere to tag rules a little better. But it was still a really great tag match and great match. My match of the week. Loved all of it.
I'm not even gonna touch that. Derek, what about you, bub?
Well, okay, so.
Oh,
my body.
That is funny.
I'm sure everybody already coming. If you obviously you guys already know, and if you've watched the show even once, there's a death match on. That's my choice. And like I said earlier, honestly, genuinely goosebumps, giddiness, even getting the chance to talk about that because that's the greatest, easily the best television death match that I think we've seen in years, if not ever. It was fantastically done, well put together, complete story was told. It was good stuff. Check it out on YouTube's. It does exist on there. Yeah.
Well, you know what's great is my match of the week was from SmackDown, because I didn't waste money on Full Gear, and I'm gonna watch this death match absolutely. But my match of the week was the tag team triple threat match for the #1 contendership in for the WWE Undisputed Tag Team Championships between the Brawling Brutes, Pretty Deadly, and the Street Profits, the new and improved Street Profits. Man, I'm really into heel Street Profits. I'm glad that I thought about that a couple of months ago and got the juices flowing. They're really starting to fall into their own with that character. They're figuring out what that swagger needs to look like, and their presentation now is really, really good. But I thought the match was awesome. Street Profits win. They're not going to beat the Judgment Day. Maybe they do though, and that would make a lot of sense too. But Pretty Deadly, they're going to be a big deal.
They're good stuff. I like them.
They're going to be a big deal sooner rather than later. And then the Brawling Brutes teasing the old split, but just to kind of, So I don't know if you noticed, Tom, but WWE had some referee faux pas as well this week on SmackDown.
Sure did.
Observing the traditional tag team rules in a no count out, no disqualification triple threat match.
Sure saw that.
So I don't know. I guess it's all in what you want to see, huh?
Well, we didn't really talk about WWE much, but
no.
I would have criticized that had we brought it up, because I saw that and I was great no rules tag match where everybody tagged and didn't do, but still whatever.
But you know what? I think it added to the match that there wasn't a bunch of gaga and a bunch of bullshit. It was nice to just see the three.
They shouldn't have had it be a no. Like that was after I watched it, I was like, why was that no rules?
Yeah.
But anyway,
I mean, it's just But yeah.
So that everybody on commentary could say, and it's completely legal for the one time that happened.
All right, boys. Well, let's go ahead and get up on out of here before Derek gets his ass kicked. Hey, check us out over on Twix and Instagram at @1_FallWC. That's ONE. Hey, man, if you're still here, hit that thumbs up. We'd really appreciate it. Maybe even consider subscribing. Yeah. So if you're listening to this, wherever, whenever, we appreciate you. And with all that being said, thanks for hanging out. It's all love. Except in Derek's house. Catch you next week. One Fall WrestleCast.
Wow.